Welcome back, everybody. We're out in the bicycle back cave today talking about tubeless tire maintenance and when to check that sealant level. I'll tell you a quick story. It was out on the Katy Trail, left from Clinton, Missouri, riding the full length of the Katy, made it to Sedalia, noticed a low tire. Thought it just needed some air, throw some air in there, another quarter mile, tire's low. And I thought, how can this be happening? I haven't seen any sealant come out. I run tubeless on the ECR and had never had any problems. Come to find out, the sealant was low. If you're like me, I've often thought, well, why would I need to put more sealant in here? If it's all sealed up, how does it get out if it's never been a significant puncture? Come to find out, time of year, temperature, humidity, all those things can affect losing sealant or sealant drying up or evaporating out of the tire. So every 6 months to a year, you really need to consider checking the sealant levels. There are people who check it more frequently if they're frequent riders, but I find that every 6 months for me works out about right. So every 6 months I find that I need to add a couple of ounces of sealant. Now you can use these small stands, 2-ounce sealants, and you'll find that for most mountain bike tires, you're looking at somewhere from 2 to 3 ounces. For a 3-inch tire like this, it's anywhere from 3 to 4. And if you're into a fat bike size tire, it's everything from 4 to 5 ounces, kind of depending. Now, if you want to check the levels, there's no real easy way to do that, but there's really just a couple of methods. To check the levels, one way is take the tire off and give it a shake. You actually can oftentimes hear the sealant sloshing around. The only other method is to really break the bead and look inside and see how much sealant is in there. The advantage of breaking the bead and checking the sealant is that you can see, number one, sometimes sealant will dry and form little balls inside that are kind of like latex balls that will need to be taken out. Or the other problem that can happen is that sometimes it can attract water and it'll be real watery or runny and liquidy. That can be a problem, but outside of taking that bead off and or shaking the tire, there aren't easy ways to check sealant levels. So how do you add sealant? Well, you definitely need one of these little tools to take out your valve core. If you don't have one in your kit, you should buy one. They're very affordable. You can get them on Amazon. And then you can easily take a little pointed bottle like this and squirt in 2 ounces like that. Or you can buy the big bottles of sealant if you like orange seal or stands or whatever you like. You can also get one of these syringe jobs with a plastic tube that will let you put it over the valve core and squirt it in there. The way you do it is basically just have your tire kind of down on the lower end, take out that valve core, squeeze in some sealant, put the valve core back in, air it back up, you should be good to go. Spin that tire around. If you're like me, I never realized that I need to really be checking this routinely and found that that was one of those things that was definitely necessary to make sure that my tubeless setup was working efficiently and effectively all the time. I also really do recommend carrying 1 or 2 of these with you all the time. I was fortunate on the bikepacking trip that one of the guys I was with had 2 bottles of this. So I popped it in there and boom, I was ready to go. I was not carrying extra sealant, but I did have with me and always carry with me an extra tube, a real tube, but it's a real hassle to have to put that in and then later take it out, put them all back as tubeless, so forth. So just having some extra sealant with you usually is fine. You can usually put that valve core back in, air it back up, and you're good to go. That's what worked for me, having that sealant, boom, sealed up a little pinhole that was in the tire that I didn't even know was there. It was losing air. The other thing I think you should consider is a stands dart tool. If you haven't seen these, you should check them out. It's a little plastic device that has 2 darts on each end. And what it is it's got a plastic tip with these little flaps on it that reacts with the sealant, seals up a hole. So you should be able to use those. You can sometimes use even multiples. And what you do is you put it in and you leave the plastic component in there and it just sticks in there and stays. If you haven't seen videos on this, you definitely should check it out. It's a fantastic little product. It's very portable and lightweight. It works really good for stealing punctures and tears, and you can put multiples in. All kinds of crazy things have happened with these that people have been able to continue their rides. So check out the Stands Dart tool also. Get yourself some of these bottles of sealant, throw them in your bag, keep them with you. You might need it like I did. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.